Moving on now. Recently, 5 Nigerian men were arrested in connection with a daring armed robbery at a money exchange house in Sharjah, United Arab Emirates, the UAE. The suspects, in their 20s, according to the police, stole currencies worth over 2 million dirhams during a 7-minute robbery at the Al Tuwain branch of the Al Ansari exchange. Also, a Nigerian woman, Kudirat Adeshola Afolabi, a mother of 2 and a widow, was found guilty of smuggling drugs into Saudi Arabia and was executed as a result, drawing criticism from international human rights groups and the Nigerian government. Well, here to discuss this and more is ZAINAB YUSUF Ogundana, National Coordinator, Buhari Continuity Movement. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Well, the UAE robbery incident was being turned almost into an ethnic situation. What was your reaction when you heard about this news?
Well, I felt really bad because it has affected the image of Nigeria again. We are aware of the stringent measures that is in place now against Nigerians, okay? Just imagine UAE that should be begging us to come to their country, now have to reduce the terms of the period of visa given to Nigerians, and they've even started evacuating Nigerians from the country.
But the last we checked, the UAE responded to that, saying that they did not reduce or revoke the visa term for Nigeria. But
that's what's in the news now, that it's been revoked, and we're waiting to see further reactions from that. I'm not happy at all, because I know that the present President Muhammadu Buhari, is doing a whole lot to ensure that the image of the country is repaired, that we go back to what we used to be in the past. And it's unfortunate that our youths are involved in this again, okay? And the amazing...
Yeah, when you say our youth, what do you think is the root cause of these youth, you know, getting themselves in such daring acts, especially in countries where they know they will get no leniency?
It's so amazing. I don't want to... if you ask some of them, they'll say it's because of the economic situation and all that. But I want to disagree on that, okay? Because take for Lagos State. Lagos State alone has a population of over 18 million people. And even if it's just pure water you're trading in Lagos here, if you're diligent at it, you have enough to feed and take care of your family. So why would you go and risk being killed? You know that the penalty for smuggling drugs into a particular country is by hand, is death. And you go into it and you're killed. It's amazing. Can you imagine that a Nigerian woman was caught, she was killed, a few hours after she was executed, another Nigerian, a male this time, was caught again. And we have several waiting to be killed. And, okay, the SSA to the president on diaspora matters, she's asking for fair hearing and all that. Okay, but before that, we should care about our image, your image, the image of the country. We can't just afford to continue in this manner. Do you know that we have a lot of policies for the youths right now? The PES scheme, that's the Presidential Youth Empowerment Scheme. That scheme is designed to train youths and empower them after the training. They even go as far as building factories for them.
PES scheme?
Yeah, PES, yes. And we have the Empower that is succeeding very well. As I speak, Empower has been able to train over 30,000 Nigerian youths.
But clearly this is not doing enough, because even President Muhammadu Buhari, in his reaction to the Zamfara issue, said before world leaders that lack of, social inclusion and financial inclusion is what is causing this so much youth restiveness. So the president surely agrees that this is a problem, but it seems that the plan he has on ground is not tackling that. I know you canvassed a lot for his re-election, and you said he had a lot of program for the youths.
Yes.
But this doesn't seem to be yielding results.
It is. It is.
How do you measure this?
Of course, compared to before he became the president, We never used to have any scheme for the youths, particularly working. And do you know that the vice president himself is the one monitoring this? So it's not just one of those schemes that government will just say and they won't monitor. This is being implemented and is being monitored. I have seen people who are not politicians, they are not children of politicians, benefiting from these schemes. And right in Ikorodu, we have a youth that was empowered. He has a very mighty farm, and he has employed several other youths. There is always a documentary on him in the TV and other social media, okay? So, and the next level, that will be starting May 29th. More activities will be available for the youths.
Let's stay with the UAE robbery now. Do you think the federal government should intervene and plead on behalf of these boys, especially because they haven't gone to trial yet?
Yes, and we have, the government has intervened already because Honorable Abike Dabiri, she's asking for fair hearing. She's been on that issue. But the thing is, the truth of the matter is, you can't expect a country to waive their laws because a Nigerian has done something wrong. And the amazing thing is, can you believe that some Nigerians are condemning her, mentioning their names? And I wonder, are you trying to cover up for stealing? Yes, they should be giving fair hearing.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned that they were almost turning it into
That's why did she mention their names? Why won't she mention their names?
No,
the woman that was hung, well, her name was mentioned.
I think the reaction was that when it comes to crimes committed by Nigerians in other parts of the world, which have to do with other tribes,
it's ethnic.
Their names are not being mentioned. But when it came to this, it so happened that they were from a particular tribe. But let's not find those embers here.
I want to comment on that. That's not true, because the woman that was hung at Saudi Arabia, she's from another tribe, different from
others who have committed crimes
and
before the woman in Saudi Arabia. So let's move on. You've talked about the next level of President Muhammadu Buhari. The president himself has talked about inclusivity, inclusive governance for youth and for women. What exactly should we be expecting when the president says the next level is all about the youth? And is it just about the same Empower programs we hear where you give stipends to them to go and forge businesses with the existing challenges? Is that what he means by inclusive governance for the youth?
Let me just correct that impression. No, that's not just all. And the amount he gives to them is not stipend. It's actually what is enough for them to start up. Do you know that they go as far as building mills? Okay, like if you're in the agricultural sector, they build rice mills and hand over the tools and...
that's for Empower. Then there's the 10,000 naira...
No, that's... yes, that's to empower women in the markets, okay, for low business, okay, is to empower small scale, yes, is to empower them. It's quite different from the Empower. And we have more coming up.
What is the inclusiveness of the youth? Is it just...
Youth will be included in the next cabinet that will be formed. I'm very sure of that. I trust the president because he's a man of his word. He's a man of integrity. He has promised to include more women and more youths.
Well, the issue of the Saudi Arabia, the Nigerian who was executed in Saudi Arabia, people have been calling for leniency. She's already been executed. But shouldn't we, as Nigerians, look for a way to ensure that we stop this very embarrassing national problem before it even gets to a foreign country? For instance, how do we ensure that at our ports, our airports, for instance, this woman was not allowed to bypass screening and go out with such illicit drugs?
I thought of that myself. I know that with this issue now, even Honorable Abike Dabiri has also mentioned it, that they will look into the ports, especially the airways, the airports, to ensure that more facilities are available to check. And beyond that, I think we need reorientation. Okay, mindset ought to change. I don't see why you should leave a country, one of the most populous countries in the world, why you should leave to go to another country to steal, to push drug, knowing that the repercussion is death, and you now want the country to plead leniency. Why should they change their laws because a Nigerian has violated that law?
Well, maybe some people have gotten away with it and, you know, she just thought, let her try her luck.
I think we need to reorientate ourselves. We need to do more.
Don't forget the fact that Honorable Abikedabre had also mentioned that some airways, some airlines actually, you know, do put these drugs in people's luggages without them finding out until they get there. And that's why she's asking for thorough investigation, you know, and leniency, because some of these people, according to her, are innocent. But Saudi Arabia would not look the other way.
And that's why before the trial, the issue is that with the Saudi Arabia matter, the trial was done very in secret manner, where nobody was able to even intervene until the execution was carried out.
Yes. I agree that they should be given fair hearing. They should do proper investigation before any execution. That's true. But again, you should be careful when you're at the airport. You should be careful with your luggage. Should.
Let me quickly ask you one question, because, I mean, gender, we talked about gender earlier on the breakfast show, about women in politics. President Muhammadu Buhari's next level, I mean, he's talked about inclusiveness. You've also said he's a man of integrity. But how many women do you think would be on his cabinet?
Well, I can't say.
How many would you like to see?
30%.
30%. And so we'll be looking forward to that. Many thanks, ZAINAB YUSUF OGUNDANA, National Coordinator, Buhari Continuity Movement, for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.